Hey everybody, it's Liz here, and welcome to day 2 of my Live with Liz 12 Days of Self-Care Challenge. So first I want to just thank everybody who tuned in yesterday, or if you caught the replay of yesterday's video. The response has been like awesome. It's just been really overwhelming. So I hope you'll keep coming back. For those who are tuning in for the first time, I promised my followers, readers, and subscribers that I would take 12 days and go live on Facebook with self-care tips, tricks, inspirations, and information. And so we started yesterday. And this is a holiday inspired production inspired by the 12 days of Christmas. So I'm twisting that up a little bit, remixing it to do the 12 days of self-care. Shout out to my friend, the Reverend Dr. Michael Burnside, for being here for catching me live yesterday, and my good friend Vanessa Jenkins for being here as well, and for everybody who caught the replay, and for everybody who shared it. I have one point of correction, and then we'll jump into it. I've referenced my good friend, Dr. John Gray, who's inspired me to do more video and step outside of my comfort zone. And I referenced his organization on Facebook is the Inspiration University. So go follow that, click there, follow that. He puts out some really awesome content. So you definitely want to check him out. So with that, without any further ado, let's just jump right into day 2 of the 12 Days of Self-Care Challenge. Let me get my lyrics out. And as we did yesterday, we'll start off with a little bit of singing. Okay, so like I said, be kind, be gentle, stay tuned, keep watching anyway, okay? All right, so let's find out what happened on day 2. What did my true self give to me? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. So on the second day of self-care, my true self gave to me 2 scented candles and a blanket with a cup of green tea. Okay, that's me singing. That's enough singing for today. But today's thing is, you just missed the song, Umbrina. But thank you for being here. So on the second day of self-care, my true self gave to me 2 scented candles. And, oh, excuse me, sorry, that's something in my mouth. Why 2 scented candles? 2 scented candles are a really important part of a self-care regimen because there's real neuroscience around the power of sensation and the power of positive scents and aromatherapy. And the neuroscience is this. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not a healer, anything, but I do read up on this stuff because the way that I think, I always want to ask, well, why? Why is that? Why does it work that way? So here's why aromatherapy works. Like if you've ever gone to the massage and gotten the aromatherapy, if you like the smell of scented candles around your home, why does it make you feel better? Well, neuroscience has proven, and you can Google this on your own and do the research like I did, but the Cliff Notes version of it is this. Aromatherapy stimulates the part of our body that's called the limbic system, and that's the part of our anatomy that controls our mood, our memory, and our emotions. So if you stimulate that in a positive way, you're going to feel better. And it's a very healthy thing to do. So don't take my word for it. Google it. Check out the neuroscience for yourself. But let me just tell you a couple of ways that I tap into the power of sense and our senses and why it's really important. For me, we're fortunate enough, we have a jetted tub, and my girls have given me so many like these bath bombs that you put them in and they fizz all over the place and they smell awesome. And my favorite scent is eucalyptus. So I love the like mints and vanillas and eucalyptus and stuff like that. So every time I get in the hot tub, I like to just add that extra to it, like with scented candles or scented bath salts or scented lotions and things like that. And I encourage you to do the same. These are really simple, little affordable things that you can do for yourself. And I realize not everybody has a jetted tub in the bathtub, but it's cool. You can rock it old school, which is really how I learned it from. Like my grandmother didn't have a jetted tub. Okay. She lived a very basic life and in the country, and good old country woman that she was, after a hard day of work, she would go out on her back porch, and she had a big bushel basin, like a bushel barrel, a tin, and she would fill it with warm water, and she would put Epsom salt in there and just soak her feet at the end of the day. And sometimes she would put some mint leaves or this leaf or that leaf or flower leaves from her garden and stuff to make it smell even better and stuff like that. And I was like, Grandma, what are you doing? She's like, nothing, child, I'm just relaxing. And I was like, oh, can I try? So sometimes she would let me stick when I was little. She let me when I had little feet. Now I haven't had little feet for a really long time. So when I was a real youngin'. Hey, Tracy, thanks for being here. But when I was a wee tot, I would like stick my feet in there and just really enjoy both the physical sensation of soaking my feet, the time with her, which is still precious to me all these years later, and also the scent sensation of the smells of the flowers and the oils. You know, she had oils and things like that that she would put in there. And when I got older, my dad had a foot massager. I don't know, you know, there are these like little plastic basins that you plug them into the wall and you turn them on, and they can kind of zzz and massage your feet and everything. And he used to soak his feet, and I used to do the same thing with him. I was like, oh, that's like what Grandma has. So maybe it's in my blood, it's in my genes, I don't know, but I still do that to this day. So you don't have to have like some fancy jacuzzi tub in your bathroom or whatever to take advantage of the ability to kind of stimulate your limbic system in a positive way and stimulate all of your different senses. That's the point of this. I'm talking, you know, the scented candles are the sense of smell, but it also applies to like all of your senses. You have to stimulate them in a positive way on a regular basis. I mean, think about this. You think about little babies, their toys are all designed to stimulate multiple senses. You know, like I always picture like a little baby laying on his or her back in the crib, and that thing that hangs in the air, the mobile that hangs in the air. And, you know, some of them have lights, some of them make noises. They're all kind of soft and fun to the touch, and the baby tries to touch it and stuff. And that's a big part of their development. And when they're playing with that, they look so happy. They laugh and they're giggling and they're gurgling and stuff like that. And as adults, we lose that. But, you know, if not to get all deep and religious, because I'm not a biblical scholar, but I do know that the Bible teaches us to be childlike in our faith, meaning to be unencumbered, right? Because children aren't burdened down by the ways of the world and experience and skepticism and all the things that we as adults tend to carry around with us. So we all need to learn to be a little bit more childlike every day in our self-care journeys, because we'll be happier. And part of that, like if you practice aromatherapy or essential oils or candles or, you know, whatever your favorite fragrance is, or just soaking in a hot tub or taking a hot shower if you can't, you know, or whatever that is, and stimulating our different senses in different ways that are positive, then that will unleash those positive parts of our limbic system will start working in our favor in a positive way. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. So anyway, that's the neuroscience in it. So you don't have to be all high tech about it. You can rock it old school like my grandma did, but these things are really important. And I'm just sharing a lot of different ways to do this because, again, this isn't big budget item stuff, right? So, and, you know, it may seem like there's better things to spend your money on than a scented candle, but if you need to come down at the end of a stressful day, that scented candle can change the world for you. It really can. And there's neuroscience backing that up. So I encourage you to do that. But you can also, going back to yesterday's video, my warm and fuzzy blanket, the sensation of touch is also very soothing and relaxing. So it's not just good to surround yourself with things that smell good, feel good, and be baby-like with it, right? And just make sure that we're comfortable and that we feel safe and empowered and that we're taking care of ourselves. So we want to make sure that we're stimulating our senses in a positive way. That's really the point of today's video, is to stimulate our senses in a positive way and to be childlike in the pursuit of our own self-care. Like, little kids don't need much to be happy, right? But how come as adults we have so much if we're blessed and if we work hard, and we have so much, and yet so many of us are so unhappy? I won't go so deep because I got a little deep and a little dark yesterday talking about my own healthcare issues in the past and stuff. But if we can learn to kind of tap into that stimulation of all of our senses on a regular basis. So that means eating stuff that we like once in a while. And I'm not saying, do it in moderation is what I'm saying. I'm not saying go on a junk food binge and binge away and stuff like that. But every now and then I treat myself to a piece of dark chocolate after dinner. Because it just it just makes me feel good. Now I don't do it every day, and stuff like that. But every once in a while, you got to stimulate those taste buds in a good way, right? We should be eating healthy and stuff like that. But that's my issue with diets, is that they live in the no in a negative way. No, you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have that, you can't have that. Well, we have to give ourselves permission. It's one thing, we need to eat healthy and make sure that we're feeding our temples in a positive way. But we also need to give ourselves permission to indulge just a little bit, because too much focus, if we're all work and no play, that's not healthy either. So, you can, if you're good all week, this is what I do. So I try to be disciplined about breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday. This way I can eat whatever I want for dinner. I can eat whatever I want on the weekends. That's the agreement that I made for myself. Now, that's not, I'll never make $1 million with the Liz diet, like the keto people or whatever the case may be, but I don't feel guilty when I go, because there's too much guilt and pressure associated with diets and stuff like that. Follow your doctor's orders, if be healthy, but you also can forgive yourself for being less than perfect. If for some reason you break your diet or whatever. And me, I just build that into my, okay, if I'm disciplined every breakfast and every lunch, then if I go a little bit off the reservation with a piece of dark chocolate for dinner, it's okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so I make these kind of trade. I plan for my mistakes. I plan for my diversions, and everything. And that's how I stay on track eating I don't even like to call it the D word, the diet. I don't even like to call it that, but that's how I stay on track with eating the things that I'm supposed to do, because I give myself permission. Sometimes it's planned permission, sometimes it's not, but I give myself permission to be less than perfect with that journey. And that's what keeps me on track with my journey, relative to my diet more often than I'm not. So anyway, the point of today is really to find things that elicit positive emotions and stimulate your senses, whether it's things that you see, things that you smell, things that you hear, things that you taste, like things that you touch. Like for me, I'll just run off a few things. We talked about my warm and fuzzy blanket. We talked about my green tea. We talked about my dark chocolate, every once in a while, again, in moderation, right? All things in moderation. But one of the things that I'm fascinated with right now is this whole trend towards adult coloring books. Adult coloring books are designed to do exactly what I was just talking about and reconnect us with those childlike pathways to just stimulating our limbic systems in a positive way and help boosting our moods and our emotions in a positive way, but it also stimulates your senses because you're touching the crayons and you're engaging with the book. Your sight is engaged and your touch is engaged and the colors and everything like that. So it's just, you know, so there's neuroscience behind that. It's not just a trend. There's a reason why this stuff works. So if you're into adult coloring books, go for that. Like I highly recommend that. It's not my thing, but I just love it conceptually because it's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm talking about that we need to learn to do for ourselves on a regular basis. Essential oils are another way. Scented candles. Get a massage every now and then. If you've never had a massage, treat yourself to a massage. Like take out your planner when I'm done and book a massage. You don't need a ton of money. People think, oh, it's too expensive, it's too this, it's too that. But there are now massage subscription services where you can treat yourself to a monthly massage for like $70 a month or something like that, give or take a few dollars. There's a couple of different ones, and you can go, and they have chains all over the country and stuff like that. They have massages at gyms a lot of times and stuff like that. And just treat yourself and spend the extra, you know, $10-20 on the aromatherapy and stimulate that limbic system and combine day 1 and day 2, right? Like, and stimulate all of your senses. Trust me, you owe that to yourself to do that. Okay. So again, so let me just kind of quickly recap the things that I've shared. And if you have ideas, drop them into the comments, right? Like, let's do this, like leave a penny, take a penny. You've seen those little dishes on the counter and stuff. So I'm going to leave some ideas. I want you guys to take some ideas, but I also want you to take some ideas and leave some ideas too to share with other people. So, you know, my indulgences that stimulate my senses, like I said, so I love a piece of dark chocolate. Maybe for you, it's something else. What's yours? I love a scented candle or two. I love a massage. I love aromatherapy, essential oils. Adult coloring books are another thing. I love my warm and fuzzy blanket. Like there's something around soft, fuzzy, like warm things. I love for my feet to be comfortable. So I love to just soak my feet once in a while with the smell of like Epsom salts or eucalyptus or vanilla or something like that. So what's your thing that you like to do? Okay. And again, I'm not talking about big bucks. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do this stuff. You don't have to, you know, you probably have stuff that you already have. I love the smell of fresh flowers, you know, and sometimes it's just nice. I work in New York City, but I'm blessed to live out in the country where like Bambi and Thumper live in the backyard. So right now and then when I get home from work, I just like step outside and the smell of fresh air is just like awesome compared to New York City air. You know, so what are the things that you do? Just those simple things that stimulate all of your senses in a positive way. Okay. So, oh yeah, Sabrina says she loves adult coloring books. Awesome. So share those ideas in the comments. And again, as always, if you're digging this series that I put together, let me know in the comments and share it with other people. And again, you guys know I love talking about this stuff. I'll do my shameless plug for my book and for my my coaching program, but I also have a free online email course that you can get on my website, and I blog about this stuff. And eventually I'm going to post the whole 12-day video series on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So share this with your friends and make this part of your plan. Okay. So what are you going to do? What, like, you know, take from each day that we get together and go live and try to implement these ideas. Nothing that I'm saying is out of your reach. Like, you know, I'm not asking you to spend big money or whatever the case may be. I'm just asking you to commit to taking care of yourself going into the new year and forever and ever going forward, right? That's the best thing that you can do, is to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anything or everything else, right? So with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to day 2. And since Abrina says she wanted to hear the song, I think she missed it at the top of the broadcast. So I will close by singing the song one more time. But let me just pull up the lyrics so I get them right. So today, this is what we talked about, stimulating our senses in a positive way on a regular basis as part of our self-care formula, okay? So on the second day of self-care, my true self gave to me 2 scented candles and a blanket and a cup of green tea. Okay, so there's your song, Aubrina. I did it once at the beginning, once for you here at the end. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. And please be sure to tune in tomorrow and to share the replay with others who this might be able to help reconnect with their self and be more successful in their self-care journey. So that's it for now. So thanks for coming again. And I hope to see you guys back here again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.